Have you ever kind of felt like you're playing a supporting role in your own life? Apologizing for taking up space or dimming your own light just to make other people feel more comfortable? Well, today, we are diving deep into the art of breaking those invisible chains and taking your power back.
This right here, this quote from author Mary Lou Dobbs just nails it, doesn't it? This isn't about being reckless or anything like that. It's about being real. It's about grabbing your life by the handlebars and living it completely, 100% on your own terms.
If that vision of a badass woman feels, a little out of reach, let me tell you, it is not your fault. There's this unseen force at play, a kind of programming that starts when we're kids, and it has been shaping women's lives for generations.
So let's pull back the curtain and finally meet the villain of our story. It's a really powerful, really subtle force that the author calls good girl conditioning.
Okay, so this is that little voice in your head telling you to be quieter, to be smaller, to be more agreeable. It's this social programming that's just so deeply embedded in us, through fairy tales, family expectations, cultural norms. All of it is designed to make you please other people and has been stealing your power for way, way too long.
So look at this contrast. On one side, you've got the conditioned good girl who's always looking for approval from everyone else. And on the other, you have the badass woman who leads with authenticity. And she's not rude, she's just genuine. She's not being selfish, she's being self-aware. Big difference.
And this is a perfect and, frankly, infuriating example of how deep this conditioning goes. After 50 years of being a total pro in her field, this is a text message the author saw. It reduced her to 3 dismissive words. It's just a gut punch that reminds you this isn't some abstract theory, it's a daily reality designed to keep women small.
But here's the thing about this conditioning. This constant pressure to be good, it can only last for so long. Eventually, something's got to give. And that is when the awakening happens. See, being a badass, it starts with a spark. That moment when something deep inside you just refuses to hide anymore.
For the author, that moment came on 2 wheels. On a total whim, she bought an 883 Harley Sportster, and during the test ride, she crashed it, right there, in her own garage. But as she was lying there, pinned under 500 pounds of cold hard steel, she wasn't scared. She felt this jolt of life, this surge of freedom she hadn't felt in years. She pushed herself up, dusted herself off, and with this huge, life-changing grin, she told the sellers, "I'll take it." That was her point of no return.
And that crash taught her this core life principle, countersteering. It sounds crazy, right? But to turn a motorcycle to the right, you actually have to push the left handlebar. You literally steer into the opposite direction. And life is exactly the same way. Sometimes you have to lean into the discomfort, surrender a little control to gain real power.
So that moment of awakening, that counter-steering into the unknown, that's really just the beginning. It's the start of a quest to get back the most precious parts of ourselves, the parts that good girl conditioning taught us to lock away deep inside, where they couldn't get hurt.
And the crucial point here is that we all have these 3 treasures. First, your genuine voice, the one that speaks your truth, even when your hands are shaking. Second, your natural presence, the kind that commands a room without you even trying. And third, your sacred boundaries, which protect what truly matters to you. The whole journey is about bringing them back out into the light.
Okay, so how do you actually start reclaiming these treasures? Well, the book gives you this incredible practical toolkit filled with weapons for the journey. Let's take a look at a couple of them. These power phrases are like verbal Aikido. Seriously, they're designed to help you totally transform difficult conversations and set boundaries without making other people defensive. For instance, just starting a sentence with "up to now" lets you introduce a new boundary while acknowledging the past, which brilliantly defines the future. They're simple, strategic ways to shift the power dynamic in pretty much any interaction. Now, for the deeper work, the book introduces methods like thought field therapy, or TFT. It's an energy psychology technique where you use tapping sequences on specific points on your body, like your hand or your collarbone, to release the root causes of all that emotional distress. Just think of it as a way to literally tap out the old programming that's been holding you back on a subconscious level. It's pretty amazing. When you combine this kind of inner work with bold, authentic action, the transformation is just profound.
You stop just passively accepting what everyone else expects of you, and you start actively creating your own incredible life.
And this might be one of the most powerful takeaways of all. Your most extraordinary chapter could be the one society least expects you to write. It is never, ever too late to rev up that engine and start living life at full throttle.
Every single story, every principle, and every tool we've talked about today comes from this incredible book, The Art of Being a Badass Woman by Mary Lou Dobbs. It's truly a complete blueprint for igniting your inner rebel.
So if you're ready to go deeper and get the entire toolkit for your own journey, you can find the book on Amazon. It is absolutely packed with practical wisdom that can help you start your own transformation today. So I'll just leave you with this question. After everything we've talked about, what's the one small good girl rule that you are ready to break? The whole revolution starts with that very first deliberate act. So choose one and begin.